check out all of these, mostly books, but all of these items that I've picked up since yesterday, including today, from 2 thrift stores, mostly, yes, and some other places, but mostly 2 thrift stores yesterday. A lot of books that I've got 8 books I'm going to sell on Amazon, merchant fulfilled, filled by merchant, not FBA. And then I have, I don't know how many books here. Let's count them up. There's 21, 22 books that I am going to be putting mostly in my new second location, which is a bookstore only. And then I will put some of those here in my first bookstore, which is here. This is books and media, right? So music, movies, video games, books. Some will go in here as well. However, because I have recently opened up my second location, which is a bookstore only, I am in need of lots of good inventory, i.e. books that people are looking to buy. So what I am doing for now, until I get a steady flow of donations and trades in the new bookstore, is I am going to thrift stores, and I'm also going to be looking for yard sales and / garage sales, as well as estate sales. And if there are any in my area, I will look into library book sales. But until I can get a steady flow, which will probably take a little while because we're only open 2 days a week, but we've already had some donations. I've had, I don't know, half a dozen boxes worth of donations in just 6 days of being open, 3 weeks. That it's a good sign that people want to donate to our local store, which we are very thankful for and appreciative of, so that we can then offer those books to other customers. And we are going to be offering trades as well. The only challenge with that is we hired somebody who I'm going to have to I'm going to have to set up a way for her to be able to do trades, figure out a system for that. But that's not yet set up yet. But for now, we're just going to do donations, and with trades coming soon. But people are happy to donate, when it comes to a local bookstore, because we are really trying to, we're really providing a great resource for people. We're looking for books. They're coming in. They're asking for specific books or specific authors or specific genres. So we're starting to look for that type of stuff. For instance, classics. So I've been looking for books, which I wasn't able to find at the thrift stores I went to yesterday, but books that would fall like, two people asked for East of Eden, John Steinbeck. People are looking for just general classics that are usually, written in the last, 100 years or so. Yeah, you get the point. So I'm looking for that stuff, but I'm also looking for just books in general that people are currently buying. The way I figure that out is by using the Amazon app. It's very helpful because it shows me how often people are buying a book. So some of these books that I've picked up here, so as an example, so these are all, the ones with Post-its are all ones that are going on Amazon, as well as this stack here is all going on Amazon Merchant Fulfilled. I'll be listing those either today or tomorrow. I have a lot of stuff to list on eBay too, so we'll see how much I can get through with it. And then, so I'll be listing all that stuff roughly. So I've got this one here. These are all from the thrift store. So the New Oxford Annotated Bible, Kant, Religion Within the Boundaries of Mere Reason, the Bloomsbury Introduction to Creative Writing, 2nd edition, and this one is Poker Math That Matters. So this one I'm gonna list for $14.52, $22.92, $25.49, $27.60. So of course these all include, for me, they all include shipping, not free shipping. So cumulatively, roughly the 8 that I'm listing on Amazon will profit me roughly $70, $75 at the current prices that I'm listing them at. So that's where those are. But in terms of the books that I'm going to be putting in the bookstores, in my stores, I'm really looking for books that are selling right now pretty often. So there are about 3 or 4 books in here that on Amazon are selling every single day. One of those, I believe, was this one, Signs, The Secret Language of the Universe. And what was it? I think it was this one as well. This one is a classic from several decades ago. This is the new edition. That one's a good one. This one's selling pretty often. So basically, like, here's one, Philip K. Dick, The Man in the High Castle. He's, of course, very popular. But all of these books are selling pretty regularly on Amazon. So the way you figure that out, I have Scoutly. There's other apps, scanning apps you can use, but they should show you a metric. For a Scoutly, it's a number which shows the amount of copies that are being sold in the last 6 months. And so if that number is over 180, I think it's 185-ish, then it's selling daily, basically. Possibly selling multiple copies a day, just depending on how low the rank is. And then if it's a lower amount, it's still, like, if it's half of that, if it's 90, then it's selling about every other day on average, right? I mean, of course, it's not going to be consistently every other day, but might sell a couple copies one day, no copies the next day, one copy the next day, et cetera, et cetera. But if that number is pretty high, especially compared to the amount of offers, amount of books for sale. So as an example, if this book has 90 sales in the last 6 months, and there's only like 30 copies available, 40 copies, that means that it's selling through the amount of copies. There's not as many copies available, but there's a bigger demand, and the copies essentially sell pretty quickly. So anyway, that just basically figuring that out with Amazon, that's really helpful. That's why I recommend, even if you don't have a bookstore, it really helps you sell on both Amazon as well as on eBay, so you get an idea of how often a book is selling, or a CD, or a VHS tape, or DVD, whatever it may be. The ranks are different for each of those types of media, though. Like a 100,000 ranked book is really a great rank, but a 100,000 ranked CD is okay. It's going to be a little slower of a seller, but for a book, that's a pretty, if it's a consistently 100,000 rank, it's not selling every day, but it's selling pretty consistently, multiple copies every month. You should be selling multiple copies a week. So it's just varies. You got to learn those numbers, but it's really, really, really helpful. And now it's coming into play for me to figure out which books to buy, because obviously I don't know every single book that's been published, period, but even in the last 5 years that's really popular, because I've been running my business, I've been reading books that much, so I don't know what's been really popular and what continues to be popular. That's the thing, is there's a book like this that's got a new edition, and now people want the new edition because it's got some updated information in there, and so people are still buying it. Philip K. Dick, much older book, but people are still buying it. So a book could be published 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 3 years ago, and it's still selling like hotcakes, right? Maybe the price isn't as high on Amazon as it was when it first came out, of course, but some of these, I think that one and a couple others, like, the prices are still high. They're the lowest. I'm talking about the lowest, not the Amazon price, the new price, but the lowest used price on Amazon, which is merchant fulfilled or fulfilled by merchant. If it's pretty high, if it's like $9, that's pretty high for a book that there's many copies available and it's selling often. So that's a book that's people are willing to pay for as well, and it helps me price them as well. And it's much quicker than eBay. That's the downside of the eBay app, is it doesn't give you enough information and you have to click too much, versus just having one screenshot of one screen that has all the information you need without having to go anywhere else for it. So that's something that hopefully eBay would come out with. It'd be awesome if they had their app that displayed, when you looked up something as a seller, maybe had a different app for the sellers, kind of a thing. And when you looked it up, you would see how many copies. Basically, the pertinent information would be, this is a total side note, but the pertinent information would be lowest price, what's the amount of copies of that item, book, or whatever, CD that have sold in the last 90 days. Or, 90 days would be nice. That's what they do. That's 90 days. So 90 days. So I know, okay, in 90 days, 100 copies have sold. So then it's selling every day. Oh, only 10 copies have sold. It's not selling that often, every maybe a couple of weeks, that kind of thing. That would be really helpful. Just that alone, without having to click around, would be super mind-blowing for eBay sellers. But I also picked up 2 video games. I paid up for them, but I do like to have new video games in the store. So that was good. Let's see. Okay, I also picked up some DVDs. So I picked up this one from one thrift store. It's sealed. This was only $1. Was this the one that was $1? I think this one was $2. At any rate, it wasn't that much, but it's the 8th season of King of Queens, and it's still sealed. So I am working towards getting a nice amount of sealed DVD TV box sets so that I can sell those in the future when I get the complete series, or even the partial series. I also got the Golden Girls, the 6th season sealed. This was only $1. And then I got Scrubs. This was $3, but it's the 3rd season and it's sealed. So I like to pick those up as well. And then this was sealed. All Creatures Great and Small, season 1 and 2. I'm going to sell those for $5 in the store. These are Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In Producers Collection, $5. I'm going to sell that in the store. This one, the Best of Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 2, $5 in the store. They're both sealed. So those were nice pickups. And then I also got this Folk Years, which is a Time Life collection of CDs. Each CD has each jewel case has 2 CDs, so 8 CDs. The complete set, I'm going to list that for $30 on eBay, taking offers. So that was nice. That should pay for a good chunk of this as well. So those nice pickups. These are all going. This is going in my store here. These are all very popular. This one's a graphic novel. This one, The Happiest Man on Earth. This is an example of one I'm going to put in my store, but it's selling for like around $13 is the cheapest price on Amazon right now, and it's selling really often. I'll sell it for less here in the store, but it'll go for some good money. This, let's see, yeah, these two are going in Noam Chomsky, and this one going in my store here, and this is going in the second bookstore. So George Orwell, another classic author. The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration and the Age of Colorblindness. That's one that I've read. Really good book. I recommend it. It's a 10th anniversary edition. It still sells like hotcakes. Essentially selling every single day on Amazon. This one's Brigadistas. This one is a what's it called? Graphic novel. An anti-American fascist in the Spanish Civil War. So these are cool titles as well. We Are Cuba. How revolutionary people have survived in a post-Soviet world. This one I'm putting in my bookstore. This is selling for like almost $25, the cheapest price on Amazon, but I will sell it for less in the store. We'll see if it sells soon. So yeah, until I get a steady flow of donations into my bookstore, I'm gonna have to keep looking at other options, and I will keep searching to find some sort of steady way to find books. But I predict in the next, hopefully at least 3 months, maybe longer. We will see how long it takes. I predict that we will be getting lots of donations to the point of, and trades to the point of being kind of overwhelmed by them. That's what my thoughts are, because that's what we're going to be pushing. People ask us, we say yes. We will be putting that signs up about that, to the effect of, we want your donations, we want your books, we need your books, that kind of thing. And then when we get to the point of being able to handle trades when I'm not there, we will also be promoting that as well. So ideally in the future, 6 months from now, etc., not quite sure how long it'll take, but at some point in the future this year, that bookstore will be self-sustaining with donations and trades. And then anything else we bring in that I buy or get here in this store, or have, free big book pickups, which happen occasionally, that I'll get 10 boxes, 20 boxes, that happens here and there. That will add to it as well. But the idea is that it will be the books that flow into it from donations and trades will be enough. But of course, it's not always going to be the exact books that we want. So I'm always going to be looking for other books as well to acquire them in other ways. So that's this turned into quite a long video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. I do want to share information that is helpful about my journey, but also just trying to help new resellers or people interested in learning about this. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.